Okay, so we're here to do a lesson to talk about how to set the truss rod adjustment on your guitar. Now, for those of you that don't know, the truss rod is pretty much a big metal bar that goes through the whole neck. If you see it on some type of Strats, you can see how there's a strip here that where you put it in. But there's a big metal bar that goes through the whole neck, and this bar is used to control the amount of arc that the neck gets. Okay, typically most guitars, you want the neck to be pretty close to straight. You do want to have a little bit of arc going this way, but for the most part you want it straight. The metal bar allows you to adjust how much curvature the neck has this way. Okay, things like weather change, climate change, humidity, these type of things cause the wood to react in different ways. So the truss rod is a way to have it control over how the neck sits. Almost any guitar has a truss rod except for nylon guitars, classical guitars, and Spanish flamenco guitars. But just about any type of steel string, acoustic or electric, will have a truss rod. Okay. Now, on a lot of guitars, the adjustment for the truss rod is up here at the top of the neck, or at the headstock. Okay. This is a Strat. This Strat in particular has the adjustment in here, and to adjust it, you use an Allen wrench screw. Okay. Other guitars will also have the adjustment down here at the end of the neck. For example, here is another type of Strat that has the adjustment down here. Now this one you would have to take the whole plate off of to be able to get at it, so that's a little bit more work. The top here is just kind of like a filled in block, so you don't get at this type of guitar here. So we'll go back to showing you the other Strat, because this is more common. However, you know, it just depends on the type of guitar where the adjustment is. So the way to test out how the bow and the neck is, that's what we call the bow as far as the amount of curvature. A lot of people will take it like this and look down the side of it and see what the bow looks like. This is one way to do it. However, I prefer to do something that has an actual measurement, a physical measurement that you could do. So the technique for doing this, what we're going to do is push down the first fret on the big E string with our first finger in our left hand. In our right hand, we're going to take our pinky and push down the last fret. So we're going to have the first fret pushed down and the last fret. Now what you're going to do is use your thumb, and at the 12th fret, we're going to push it down to see how much room there is between the string, the bottom of the string, and the fretboard. Now I'm going to zoom in here to show you a much more close-up angle on what it looks like, what you want to be looking for. So if I turn it this way, let's see if you can get a good angle here. Okay, we can kind of see how right there the string moves up and down a little bit. So by doing this, I could tell how much the neck is bowing, okay? And the way it's moving there, that's just about right. I want just a little bit of room. Let's see if I can get an angle. Just a little bit of room there. You don't want it laying flat on top of the fret without any leeway, because that means that it's touching and you're probably going to get a lot of buzz. The big thing that you want to work with is usually getting the neck as straight as you can before you start getting buzz. Okay. Now sometimes there's a reverse bow where it almost goes like this, like a little rainbow. That's definitely something that's going to cause problems, because if you push down here, it means your neck's going to be sagging and dipping down here and there. So you first want to loosen it up to get it flat if you're on a reverse bow. So to tighten it, you're usually going to go to the right, just like any other type of tighten. So that would be to tighten the truss rod. And this would be to straighten it out and bring it more of this reverse bow. So again, if you have too much of a dip, In other words, if you do this test and you find out that you got a lot of leeway there at the 12th fret, you're going to want to tighten the truss rod. So once you tighten it, usually you just do it 1 or 2 quarter turns at a time and then test it out and see how it looks. It's a pretty quick type of adjustment, so you don't want to go too far when you're trying it out. So after you tighten it a couple times, again, you want to test it out again, see if you get just a, maybe a millimeter or 2 as far as room there. And then play it a little bit, see how it sounds. If you don't get any buzz, you're usually in a good position. So there's some settings that are preference, but again, you want a little bit of bow, and you should be good. So hopefully that helps out. Leave yourself, a few tries to get this right and feel it out. Also, if you need to make a major adjustment, sometimes it's good to let the guitar sit overnight, let the wood acclimate, because you just kind of cause some trauma to the way the wood sits, and then check it out the next day and see how it looks. So that's the truss rod adjustment.